Right.
I'm not saying you guys absolutely shouldn't have to live with needles and poop and all that. Your children should be able to walk to the park. But it seems like everybody's fighting each other instead of being at City Hall demanding that the government do for the homeless and for the residents.
The people are doing what they know to do. Now, a lot of people don't know nothing about going down to City Hall and fighting they fight. All they know is about fighting they fight at home, right here, on the forefront where the war is at. You know what I'm saying? When they go down City Hall, ain't no war down there for them. It's pretty down there. Everything is all gorgeous. You know what I mean? But right here, what we see, this the war zone right here, because you walking through here, I'm walking through here with my youngins, and then we got to deal with all this stuff that's going on. We recognize that it's political. I also recognize that this is a red light district. For those that don't understand what a red light district is, that means that the city allows everything that goes on down here to go on. You know what I mean? So therefore, they don't have to deal with it. All the prostitution, all the drugs, all the selling drugs, all those type of things, they're allowed to go on down here because they don't give a damn. But I bet you if this community was a suburb and people had money, a lot of money, this wouldn't be going on because they wouldn't allow. Why? Because dollars and cents. It adds up. It makes sense. Now, down here in this community, people ain't got money like that. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they allow all this to go on. People out here, the problem is it's political. Not only political, it's a drug problem. It's addiction. It's not, if you get these people housing right now, the majority of them wouldn't go into housing. Why? Because they're on drugs. You know what I'm saying? So the drugs is leading their lives. The drug is their guide. The drug is their home. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, why would they come out the street? Because they can't come into a shelter or a good, clean environment and try to clean themselves up if they can't use drugs.
What do you think for a lot of homeless people is making them relapse, is making them use drugs? Is it the trauma of living out on the streets? For a lot of homeless people, they get cleaned up when they have housing, but when they're forced back into the streets, they get addicted.
You can ask 10 different people, and 10 different people will have different reasons why they get high. Nobody know why each individual get high. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that individual, out of those 10 individuals, all those individuals got to take self-responsibility for themselves.
Have you ever had you or someone in your family have a disease?
Yes.
So this is not a choice; it's a disease. It's a disease.
Well, I tell you, the disease is the individual in the way that he go about thinking and his attitude and how he perceive things. The disease is not the drug per se, and because therefore how I think, therefore I am. You see what I'm saying? So if I don't use, then each day I can get better with myself and work on myself. But the more I use, then of course I'm gonna blame it on the substance that I use. The substance is not the disease. I am the disease because I'm the choices that I make in my perception, the way I see things, and go about using drugs.
But you're aware that the addiction, the addiction hijacks your brain. Right. It makes you dependent. Right. People are addicted to all sorts of things: gambling, drugs, alcohol, whatever. It's not that they have no responsibility, but addiction takes away the logic, takes away the control, takes away your actual cognitive functioning, and makes you do that. But I want to go back to something you said. You said people don't understand City Hall and fighting the government. It's beautiful down there. It's it's not beautiful down here. Right. Isn't that the point? Why is it beautiful down there and they leaving you to rot? Wait. Why is it they're leaving you to rot while building up 10, 15 blocks, bars, restaurants, hotels? Aside from the homelessness, they are basically letting people fend for themselves while trying to reinvent the city for wealthier white people. So isn't that the fight, in addition to getting homeless people off the street into housing, rehabilitation services? Aren't you all fighting each other rather than fighting the government that has the money, has the shelters, has the vacant lots, has the vacant hotels?
I beg to differ with you on that point. We're not fighting against each other. We're all just emotional about what's going on, and we're dealing with it in different ways. You understand? But the simple fact of the matter is that I can see things my way, you can see things your way. We can all see the same thing, and we have different perceptions about what we see. You know what I mean? So we all got our way of handling what we see or what we're dealing with. And that's the case down here. Like I said, my children right here, these my twins right here. They gotta see all this. They don't understand what's going on. Oh, Daddy, why is that man over there pooping in the street? Oh, well, Daddy, why is this man over here putting something in his arm? Oh, Daddy, why is these people doing this and that, this, that, and the third? And then I'm left to try to downplay it or explain, you know, somewhat to their understanding of what's going on around here. But everything affects us. Everything not only affects me, it affects them, the community, and everybody else. Now we can't protect snakes, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to kill snakes, right? Because if they're gonna bite you, you understand? Or we're gonna put them in their environment where they can just be snakes, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying like, okay,
who's the snakes?
No, I'm just saying in general. In general, I'm not calling anybody per se a snake, but I'm just saying that if these people want to live like this, right? They out here. We already know, number one, like you said, it's political, right? Number two, this is a red light district. But I'm quite sure things could get done if the right people come down here and want to get things done. When they want to get it done with the money and the power, then it's going to get done. So we can go around here, we can be all emotional. We can get all emotional, get in our emotion. But emotions are like this. We all get emotional about what we believe in and what, what our beliefs are and our concepts about everything. We all emotional. We ready to argue and fight each other. And then when this is all said and done and we go home, we all go about our business. We go this way, you go that way, I go that way. And then we forget about why we was here because we so emotional at the moment. So what we need to do is try to come together as a people and try to address both sides. You know what I mean? We can't say, oh, well, they don't need to be up here, this, that. We need to get the power, the powerful people together and at the top to make all this go away. That's the only way. We're not going to do it. We can stay out here until our face turn blue. There ain't nothing going to change. There's nothing going to change, especially not overnight.
Can I ask you one more question? Bigger than this, you know, there's a real narrative right now in the media among President Biden, the Democrats, that we're getting back to normal. You know, COVID cases are going down, more people are getting vaccinated, more jobs are coming back, even though a lot of those jobs don't pay a living wage. But there's this idea that everything's going back to normal. Well, I'm going around the country. It looks to me the normal is just the same shitty normal before the pandemic, only worse. Millions of people are facing eviction soon. A lot of people are facing loss of unemployment without ability, forced to go back to a low-paying job. Is the new normal kind of the same unlivable normal?
Well, it'll never be normal again. Nothing will never be normal, particularly after the COVID. You know, so we already had it rough before then, and it's going to get even worse now in terms of situations such as this, economically, and how people living in their environment, particularly up here. You know what I mean? You don't know nowhere else in the city. You can go anywhere in the city and you won't find another place like up here in Kensington that you could say, oh yeah, that look like Kensington, right? Because there's only one Kensington. There's only one K in Allegheny. It's this whole environment you can identify with. But you can go anywhere else in the city and you can't identify. And if you see something that's similar, it reminds you of Kensington. You're like, oh my goodness, that reminds me of, right? So no, like we'll never go back to the norm. There's no such thing as the norm anymore. So we stuck with dealing with what we're dealing with right now. You know what I mean, we have to come together as a people. We gotta agree to disagree. We gotta have our points to agree and disagree, right? But we still gotta want to have the same goal in mind, making the streets, making life better for ourselves and for our children. That's the whole goal. Everybody want good. If I put a glass of water in front of you, right, a dirty glass and a clean glass, I'm quite sure you're gonna choose the clean glass every time, right? That's the way life is. If you got a choice, then you're gonna make a choice. So what we doing right now, they making choices based off of their addiction. I understand that. But they don't give themselves a chance as well, because if they did, then they would be making choices not to live like this. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, who wants to live like an animal? Who wants to live outside and poop outside and have lice and walk around a certain way? If you gave me a choice, I would rather have a roof over my head, food in my belly, and be able to provide for myself and my kids. Minus the drugs. Minus the drugs. We ain't gonna talk about how you got on drugs, what was the reason you got on drugs, but I'm quite sure at some point we realized, oh, well, we going down the wrong road, and we got to do something about it.
Most of the homeless people I've spoken with, not just here in other cities, desperately want to get off the streets, not choosing to live out there, have tried to get help. They don't have an address to put on a resume, so they can't get a job. Jobs, when they go to interview, push them away because they're homeless. Have been put in shelters, but have been, I don't want to say too much in front of your children, but have been violated in the shelter. Bad things have happened in the shelter. I'm not saying every single homeless person doesn't have a choice, but I think we need to get out of generalizations that it's all a choice to be out there. Because like you said, dirty glass versus clean glass, homeless people are the same humans as you.
Right, of course.
If you give them a warm bed, food, a chance, I think most of them would take it. To me, I think we're talking about similar things. To me, why is the question, why do we have this rampant homelessness in the wealthiest country on earth? The wealthiest country on earth. Why do we have so many people, whether they're on drugs, not on drugs, this and that? Why are the people housed, you, your family, struggling to live when you're working multiple jobs in a lot of cases? Why are we being told the economy is roaring back when every single city in this country now has a tale of two cities, with gentrification 10 blocks away and basically leaving people to rot a 10-minute drive away? This is happening everywhere. So I think all of you, your feelings are valid, because no parent wants their children to have to walk through an episode of The Walking Dead, really, and drugs and poop and all that. And I think it's good, at least today, that some of you united with some of them to at least talk and realize you're not as far apart. You have more in common.
More in common than not.